Hey guys, so today we're taking a look at trier.js from Phil Booth. Right here it states that it is a conditional and repeated function invocation for Node and browser. And that's totally accurate. Very good description. But in layman's terms, what it does is it tries to do something a certain amount of times. You get to define what it's trying to do. You get to define how often it's going to try and how many times it's allowed to try. And then you get to script around, the results of those tries. So what we're going to do over here, I've got it loaded up in a basic HTML page. We're going to create a very quick program that tries to randomly generate a specific number. For our case, we're going to say 6. And we're going to let it try 10 times to generate that randomly. And then if it doesn't, it'll say it didn't. And if it does, it'll stop and say, cool, I got it. So that's, we're just going to write this up really quick so you can learn how to use this. So script. And the way we get started with trier is trier.attempt. And then that takes an object. And there's a lot of options here. I'm just going to show a few for our purposes. And the first one's going to be until. Or you know what, let's start with the action. So action, and this is like, hey, what am I going to do? And the action actually takes in a variable called test. You can call it whatever you want, but it's basically testing, how many times have I done it? Has it succeeded? Has it failed? So forth. So this test is run at the end of our action. So in our action, we're going to create, let's see, so we're going to create a var called I here for 0. And let's also create something to output this. So we'll just have an H1 here called results. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and set up a button. Just says go. And the on click of that is going to be hit 6. We're trying to hit 6. And I'm actually going to wrap all this in that function, hit 6. Let's get that set up. Okay. So also in here, let's go ahead and get so our results thing so that we can drop something in there so we can show what's going on. Equals document.get results, and let's initially set that to empty. Okay, so back to trier. So here's our action, and what we're going to do is this is where we're going to try to generate a random number. We're going to try to hit 6. So we're going to say I equals 0 round times 10. That looks right to me. That should generate a 0 to 9 randomly, and we're hoping to hit a 6. So let's go ahead and whatever we generate, let's add that to our H1 there. So span, close that. Let me move this over a little bit. We don't need that much space. And we'll just plug right into here our I value. Okay, so, and then we'll test for that. So the next thing we need is an until. And this is basically, hey, do this until something is true. So in this case, we're going to return I equals 6. So if I equals 6, this will return true. And then we'll do a fail. So if it gets past the amount of tries we're going to allow it to try and fails, we will set the inner HTML to, so we'll override the HTML and we'll say never hit 6. So that's our fail. And then the other one is, okay, so interval, which is how often to try, we'll set that to every half second. And then limit, we're going to say 10 tries. So you have 10 tries to try to return a 6 from this random number generator. And then, it'll output those. We got a button here on click. I think we're looking good. Let's load this up. Let me make sure I saved it. And so I hit go. Oh, I'm getting nothing but zeros. There is a reason for that. And let's see. Oh, you know what? I did round. I meant random. All right. So 4, 9, 6. Hey, we got a 6. So it stopped right there. Let's try it again. And we aren't getting a 6, so it never hit 6. So that's awesome. Let's just so we can see this a little better. I mean, that's the gist of it right there. But just so we can see this a little better, let's throw a style on this, and we'll say underscore 6 is going to be red. Or, I'm sorry, color is going to be red. And then down here, we'll say class equals underscore plus I. So each time it goes through the class, it's going to be underscore whatever i's value is. And if it's 6, it'll be red. So we'll try that one more time. Uh-oh. There we go. Extra curly bracket there, refresh, hit go. And hopefully if we see a 6, it'll turn red, just as a visual cue. Cool, we got a 6. Let's try it one more time. And if we don't get a 6, it says never hit 6. So that's the basics of it. There's a lot of other options you can have here. There's success, functions that you can do something else on the success of that. All sorts of different options that you can find out about on the GitHub project. I'll have a link to that in the description. So that's trier.js. Very, very handy. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good one.